Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Fiore from CZT Jana Rogers. This is a neat grid pattern, and for those that are not necessarily fans of the grids, I think you might enjoy this one. It's not difficult, and it has some really cool results, and I think some opportunity for decorating. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a 9 square today. So let's see if I can do this in thirds or close to it. One, and there's sort of two. Let's make that meet. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, and let's see if we can do it again. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'll do one full box first. We'll do that. Okay. Oh, you know what? Let me do the center. That will be perfect. Starts off with just a little box in the center. Okay. Then, all of a sudden I'm thinking, it's already small on this bijou tile, let alone now I've just cut it down by 9 times. But I think you'll get it. All right, so a square in the middle of each box. Then we're going to do the take off and land concept. So just pick a side, any side. I'm going to do this the right side of the box, and I'm going to trace over it, and then that's kind of like the take off and land concept. If you don't know what that is already, and for those that do, bear with me. You thinking of a plane, you have a little runway. So this is the runway. Although this is more of a takeoff and it's more of a instant stop than it is a land. Because what we would normally do is, let me just do it, tracing over. You take off from wherever you're taking off from after tracing over, and then you land. And usually you land and you follow through. This is more of a crash landing. So never mind. That's not a good example. But we're gonna do the takeoff part. So just tracing over a little bit, and then a little bit of a curve in your line. It really adds something versus just going from this to here. But this, because we're doing a bit of a curve line, it does seem to help to start from, say, this point and make that a curved line, but you're really taking off after that point. Okay, then again, pick another place to start, and we're going to aura. And to aura is basically to outline. So I'm going to start here, so on the outside of the square, and I'm going to just outline that curve. Turn the tile, same thing. Turn the tile, same thing. And once again. And that's essentially it. Now, what could be neat with this, and as I chat, I'm gonna let me just start these other boxes. I may even just do a pause and finish things up. We'll see, or just watch me finish tangling. Which is, you know what, I find myself getting just liking watching. Say Rick and Maria or other people just tangle, especially Rick and Maria, being that they're the founders and they're the magic behind all of this, and just watching and listening to them is so much fun. But here's something that you could do with this: is you could, we're doing a basic curve line, but why couldn't you add a little flair if you wanted to, and have a little fun with it? I'm going to do that for the rest of these. It's like I have one like this, and then the rest are different. And actually, I think what I'm going to do. Oh, but you know what? But wait, here's a thought. Well, let me aura this one as I'm thinking about it. It might not make a difference, because doing it like this as well, I'm thinking, well, if this is like a reticulate, we are going in a certain order, you could So we're going this direction. Why? I have to think about it too much. But let me just plant this seed while I'm doing the rest. Because I just thought of it, and so sometimes when I just think of something, it's like, nah, I think I want to play with it a little bit before I try it. Sometimes, as you know, if you've been following me, I do get a little daring sometimes, and that is fun. And all of a sudden, I'm like, well, let's just see. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. I'm I think sometimes you get in the groove and you just stop thinking, and that's okay. That is what Zentangle is kind of about. Although I am kind of going a little bit fast because sometimes if I go, oh, it just depends on the tangle. I don't want to stop and think too much because sometimes it just gets in the way. But we'll see what this turns out like after I do the aura ing. We'll do some shading. My point is you could have some fun with these lines and just experiment and see where you go. And and like I said, I know that there are some that like, oh, grid, ugh. But maybe it depends on the grid because there are some grid patterns that are and maybe challenging isn't the right word. Some are challenging, some are tedious, and we were having fun on our last tangle time. Okay, now I'm going to go through an aura of these, and teasing my mom because she doesn't like the Tangle Knights bridge, and I'm sure it's because there's a lot of tedious, filling in that happens with that one. And we all have tangles that we don't necessarily care for. We don't have to like all of them. There's no rule. And you can see how this is kind of turning out neat as I'm filling it in. And then I'm thinking in those centers, where there isn't the intersections, I'll call them, we could put a little orb. And I think I saw that on Jana's step out. And so do take a look at the for more inspiration section because I always put the originator of the tangle. I put wherever I have found their tangle is, that I put the link there so that way you can access it. I always hope every once in a while there's one where they don't necessarily share a lot of artwork. I think I've only had like a handful that didn't seem like there was any. It was like, here's the step out, and it's like, well, it's fine. We can figure that out. It's fun. But I like everyone. I like to be able to share so that way everybody sees it right from the. Well, you can't see the horse's mouth. That doesn't really work, but that's what I mean. The horse's hand. This is turning out kind of neat. Then, all right, so do check out that link. And here's one thing I think I'm going to do. But look at, I mean, we'll just pause for a moment, and that's a good thing to do in Zentangle also. Take a minute when you finish a section, pause, and just absorb it. And if you're not quite happy with it, sometimes I've done this, or I just turn it over, step away, don't look at it for a little bit, come back, and then you have one of those, wow, who did that moments. And that's always fun. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, and then it's a matter of, oh, let's see what else we want to do, because this would then be the decorating phase, because this is all there is to this tangle, and how neat. And let me point out also, just because it's in a grid, a square grid, does that mean it has to be in a square grid? No. Does that mean that, well, it could be a square grid, but does it have to be, straight? No. You could do it kind of wacky if you want to, or whimsical. Whatever you want, which is nice because most tangles are really forgiving in that. So you can, if you're trying to do a straight grid like this and it doesn't come out exactly right, it's okay. It'll work. See, even just filling those in, wow. But like some of these, some of them meet up nice, some of them don't. But, but wait. No, well, wait. Let me think. I could just leave them, and don't worry about it. I think we'll do that. What I was thinking is, that we could just put a little dot in those, and just that would cover over that, but let's just do some shading because sometimes it's just good to not worry about it at all. Okay, so if we were going to do shading, let's do it this way. So I'm just going to pick a side, and it's the side that I was doing, and kind of because it tucks in there. Now, what if you were to do this and you made your auras really wide? That could be interesting. And I'm going to stick with this same side throughout. And you know when I wait, okay, from this point, no, let me start fresh. And let me not be flipping my tile and do it for every single one. You get in the habit, and then sometimes it's like, well, that's a little silly. I can just do all the rest, turn, do again. It's like, oh, where was I? It's because I've done some of them, so I don't want to do those again. And I'm working to just put it on the outside of that aura line. Oh, what I was going to say is if you decided to make that this aura line wider, you could have some fun, maybe putting a tangle on the inside of that, like some orbs or something, maybe. Could leave that center open, and you could fill in these orbed sections. That's an option. In something, well, no, you could. You could also, sometimes when I do a grid like this, it's kind of neat. Okay, let's just use this one. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing where I'm just bringing out the graphite in the one section. If you wanted to disguise the grid lines, you could just, from each grid line, in, like, say, in this section, this section, continue those straight lines throughout, and then when it's this way, then you would do them this way. That would have a neat effect also. I've done that with some other tangles, and it usually turns out really, really neat. And I'm just bringing out the graphite a little bit. And we'll see. Oh yeah, as I'm looking at my screen here, and I'm trying not to bring it out too far because there's a bit of graphite here. I'm also trying to keep it underneath this orange section and not necessarily over this line. I'm just trying to keep it right in that section. And some of my these ore lines are a bit narrow, as you can see, and then sometimes you get a little graphite in there, but you know what, we just don't worry about it. But doing it on just the one side gives it some motion, and that's kind of neat, versus doing it, say, on both sides, which completely up to you, of course, you could do, but it just occurred to me to do it this way. And let's see, did I get them all? Oops. I think I did. Yeah, let me dim this a little bit. Sometimes, there we go. And some of mine are a little bit lighter. Maybe, did I miss this? Let's see. Now, apparently it's just that one. Some of these are a little bit darker than others, so then what I might do is to come back and add where it looks like it's a little bit light. Could even, as I look at it, it's like, gosh, if it needs to just be a little more darker overall, can always adjust that. Let's see. Sometimes turning it is neat. Wow, wait a minute. Yeah, that doesn't look like anything. And I know some of it is just the camera. wrong side. You didn't see that. That's all right. Oh, but that gives me a thought. That's another way you could do it. You could just do like this, like a V inside if you want to. There's a bunch of ways that this could be done. It is completely up to you to play. And that is part of the fun of it, is to just play. All right. Neat. It's a neat tangle, and it kind of, has a little bit of a flowery look to it. And apparently, Fiore is Italian for flower. I think I read that on the Tangle Patterns link as I was kind of skimming over to get the idea behind it a little bit. But neat tangle, easy, fun, and has a neat result. It kind of checks all of those boxes. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, would love to have a thumbs up, and feel free to share it. And if you have not subscribed yet, if you like it enough to see more, I should say, and you've not subscribed yet, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. Of course, that is free. If you really enjoyed it, to see more, and hey, maybe you wanna participate. I do classes every week, and they are free mostly. I have on Thursdays I do 2 sessions a day. Those ones are free. I call that Tangle Time. One Tuesday a month I have a free session called Tough Tangle Tuesday. Occasionally I'll call it something else, but generally we have fun with a little bit. Some of the tougher in a number of ways. It could be that it just has a lot of steps, or it just takes a little bit more focus or something. So I kind of reserve some of the ones like that for Tough Tangle Tuesday. That's a once a month, and that one is also free. And then I do 2 other Tuesdays a month, and I have paid classes. So that helps to keep me rolling, keep me in pens, and keep the electricity on, so I can keep doing this. So I appreciate all that take those paid classes, or and especially those that have signed up for the membership club, which is like a subscription type of thing. So if you like it a whole lot, if you truly think you're a Tangle addict, then you might want to take a look at that. Information is on my website, and that link is also in the description section. Would love to have you join us. You can get a flavor for what we do. I do have some of the Tangle Time recaps, replays on this YouTube channel, so you can look through the channel and find. I think I put them in a playlist, so you can get the flavor. We have a lot of fun, and produce some really neat results. So would love to have you join us, and that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy this tangle. I wish you lots of happy tangling.